Hi, I'm Dr. Lori Schwartz-Reichel. My career began in music education where I learned the importance of a key change, a shift, in the tonal center of a piece of music, often used to inject energy or produce significance. Eventually, I realized the impact of making key changes in all areas of my life and the desire to help others do the same. Making key changes can be difficult. I certainly don't have all the answers, but I do like to pose questions for reflection and offer actionable key changes for us to attempt in both our working and living situations. Together, we can unlock our greatest potential in collaboration with those we love, serve, and lead. Let's discover how we can grow together by making key changes. Today, July 28th, is my 19th wedding anniversary with my husband, John. I've spoken about him many times on this show, particularly over the last few weeks as we've explored leadership. He's my husband, the father of our children, my best friend, and one of my greatest sources of encouragement. He's an engineer by profession, but his leadership extends far beyond his career. He serves as a youth travel baseball head coach and a robotics coach, investing countless hours in helping young people grow both on the field and in STEM. He also teaches graduate-level engineering courses for a university, including 2 courses he designed specifically for working engineering professionals. No matter the setting, in a classroom, on a baseball field, in a robotics lab, or at our home, he leads by helping others become better than they thought they could be. And I'm one of those people. Besides his parents, I'm probably his biggest champion because I've had the privilege of witnessing the integrity, humility, and consistency behind everything he does, including exercise and weightlifting. John and I met on December 30th, 2004. And from the very beginning, I realized we approach life in similar ways. We're both driven and ambitious. We both care deeply about doing things well. We both want to make a positive impact in our professions and communities. And we both care deeply about our family and friends. But our leadership styles couldn't be more different. John is quieter than I am. He'd say, much quieter. He's observant, patient, and thoughtful. He doesn't feel the need to fill every silence or offer an immediate solution. As an engineer, he's trained to evaluate problems from every angle before making a critical decision. While many people focus only on what's happening today, John naturally thinks several steps ahead. He looks at the bigger picture and considers where today's decision will lead months or even years from now, not just the next project or game. He looks beyond immediate outcomes to long-term consequences, and because of that, decisions may take more time. He'll often ask questions like, what happens if we choose this option 6 months from now? How will this decision affect the team in upcoming games or next season? Are we solving today's problem while accidentally creating tomorrow's? That's simply how his mind works. Life brought me from Pennsylvania to Maryland nearly 20 years ago to build a life with John. Looking back, I can honestly say I've learned more about leadership from watching John than from any leadership book I've read, conference I've attended, or mentor I've had. And that's not because he gives speeches, not because he seeks recognition, and certainly not because he wants attention. In fact, he'd much rather I not talk about him on this podcast, post photos or stories about him on social media, or write about him at all. But I will, because he's taught me so much. I've learned because I've had a front row seat to someone who consistently leads with integrity when no one is handing out awards for doing the right thing. I've watched John make difficult decisions that weren't popular, but were necessary. I've watched him remain calm while others become emotional. I've watched him give credit to others while quietly accepting responsibility when things didn't go as planned. And I've watched him extend grace instead of assigning blame, even when someone else's mistake created a problem. I've watched him coach children with patience, encourage parents with respect, and solve problems without needing everyone to know he was the one who solved them. His humility is one of the many reasons I don't mind celebrating him today. He's not someone who seeks recognition, ever. So I want to make sure he receives the respect he deserves. One of the greatest misconceptions about leadership is that influence belongs to the loudest voice in the room. It does not. John is a prime example of this. Some of the most influential leaders I've ever met speak the least. They listen first. They observe carefully. They ask thoughtful questions. And when they finally speak, people pay attention because they know their words have been chosen carefully. John has reminded me time and time again that leadership isn't measured by how much you say or even know. It's measured by the trust you build over time. John has shown me, our children, and so many others what it means to lead with patience, humility, and integrity. As someone who speaks professionally for a living, that's been an important lesson for me to learn. Sometimes leadership requires speaking up. Sometimes leadership requires stepping back. Wisdom is knowing the difference. As I celebrate 19 years of marriage today, I find myself reflecting on the countless leadership lessons I've learned simply by sharing life with someone whose strengths are different from my own. Those differences haven't weakened the relationship I have with John. They've strengthened us. Now, I'm certainly not suggesting that we have a perfect marriage. Like every couple, we're still growing. We're learning one another's changing needs through different seasons of life, caregiving, careers, and parenting. But I've discovered that our differences have made us stronger, not weaker. Healthy leadership isn't about finding people who think or act exactly like you. It's about learning from people who see or say what you don't. And that's the key change I want to explore with you today. Leadership lessons are often learned from the people closest to us. In my case, this is my husband, and of course, my parents throughout my decades of life. For you, it may be a spouse or partner, but it might also be a friend, neighbor, relative, colleague, or supervisor. There are many experts I admire in education, motivational speaking, writing, and learning and development. Yet sometimes, the people who know us best often shape us more than the experts we admire. Think about the people closest to you through the years. Whose leadership has had a lasting impact on you? What did you learn from them? How have you shown them gratitude? As you reflect on those questions, consider not only what someone taught you through their words, but what they taught you through their actions. Maybe it was their patience when you needed guidance. Maybe it was their courage when a difficult decision had to be made. Or maybe it was their humility when they could have chosen recognition, but chose service instead. The people who influence us most aren't always the ones standing on a stage, writing books, or receiving awards. Sometimes they're the people sitting beside us at the dinner table, working alongside us, coaching with us, encouraging us, or simply showing us what leadership looks like through the way they live each day. For me, John has been one of those people. He has reminded me that leadership isn't about having all the answers, being the loudest voice, or making sure everyone knows what we contribute. Leadership is about serving others well. It's about building trust. It's about making decisions with integrity. And it's about recognizing that the people around us often have something valuable to teach us. As we continue making key changes in our own lives, I hope we remain open to learning from the leaders who surround us each day, especially those closest to us and those whose leadership looks different from our own. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who may need it or with someone who is making a difference in the lives of others. If you'd like more tools and encouragement like this, be sure to subscribe to the Making Key Changes weekly newsletter. You'll find a link in the show notes. Each Wednesday, you'll receive practical insights, actionable strategies, and valuable resources to help you grow in confidence, leadership, and meaningful connection, and inspire growth in the people you love, serve, or lead at home, at work, and in your community. And if you're looking for a speaker for an upcoming conference, workshop, or professional development event focused on reflective and confident leadership, I'd love to partner with you. How are we making key changes to learn leadership lessons from those closest to us? Thanks for listening. If you haven't done so yet, please consider rating and reviewing the Making Key Changes podcast on the Apple Podcast app. If you found this episode helpful, please consider sharing it with others and joining me again next week. In my coming episodes, I'll discuss topics that are most passionate to me, along with things I've been researching or areas of my life I have changed or want to change. You can learn more about me on my website, makingkeychanges.com. Feel free to message me through there or reach out on social media. I'd love to hear from you and learn about what key changes you hope to make.